Damn near struck gold here in North Carolina. Finally found some gas. Way out of the way of the lake, but still found it. I'm completely out of focus right now, but yeah, you get the point. Gas is tough to find right now. We're getting there a little bit later than how I wanted to, but we're starting off the morning. About to get on the water. Stay tuned, y'all, and see if we get some fish today. Alright y'all, so I started off this day not knowing what I was going to make this video about. I was just kind of going out and fishing, but if you can tell by the title of this video, it's going to have something to do with finding spawning fish or bass on beds in dirty water where you can't see them and you can't just sight cast for them. Where I've been fishing at, Falls Lake, it doesn't get too clear. It's pretty clear right now. It's clearer than usual just because we haven't had a whole lot of rain, but it's still not clear enough to see them on beds. You might see a few smaller ones on beds, but the bigger ones that you're going to be finding are going to be bedding just deep enough to where you can't find them. And the tips that I explained to you guys at the end of the video should be able to relate to any lake in the country. If you have dirty water and you can't see them spawning, it should help you. So be sure to stick around to the end for that. But for now, I started off this first day because this video is going to consist of 2 different days of fishing. I started off this first day fishing for some white bass. I was just kind of dropping a little crappie jig down to them, and I quickly got kind of bored of that little white bass bite, and I wanted to go up shallow and see if I can get some largemouth. And I played around with some different stuff. I actually started off throwing a little glide bait in the beginning. I got a few followers on it, but nothing too exciting to really make me stick with that for the rest of the day. So about midday, I told myself I'm just going to pick up the jig and keep it in my hand until I get bit on it. And sure enough, within the first 30 minutes of doing that, this happened. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a giant, y'all. That's a giant. Please stay on. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. No. Y'all, this might be my personal best. This might be it. Oh my god. The back GoPro isn't rolling. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, y'all. Look at this. You're right. Y'all, that might be it. That might frickin' be it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know actually, but damn, that's a good fish. Oh god, y'all, look at that fish. That's probably 6 or 7, maybe 8, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Whew, okay, I'm gonna get this camera situation going. That's a big fish. That's a big fish. We did it. We got a big fish today. First bass of the day, just on a jig in this pocket, came off of some rock. I just didn't even feel a bite. I just felt tension and my line started to move off the bed, and I was like, or not a bed, but my line just started to move off, and I'm like, that's fish. Set the hook and it was like dead weight. I don't even know. That was nuts though. It's definitely a big fish. I'm thinking 6 or 7, maybe a little bit less. Probably like, I'm saying 6 just to be safe, but she's got a big head. She's really thick, big, tall girl, but she's short, you know? She doesn't have the length on her. I don't know if it's gonna go 8, which would be my personal best, but it's definitely a big fish, and I'm really excited, y'all. Oh my god, I'm still shaking right now. Still trying to calm down a little bit. She's in the well. I'm gonna let her calm down as well. Get her out, get some pictures with her, get a weight. Yes, that was nuts. I'm so happy that at least freaking this GoPro was on, because my back one turned off and I was like, I'll get it in a second. Made like one more flip, and then of course she bit it. So I'm mad the back GoPro didn't get it, but at least I got it on a GoPro, on film at least. I probably would have thrown both of them in the water if neither of them were working when she bit it, but at least I got it. Let's go, y'all. I was freaking out at first, I will admit. I was like, oh, I think it's my personal best, I think it's my personal best. 6.5, I'm gonna call it. She's really thick, really tall, but she's short. I think she'll go 6.5. I don't know, y'all, that's a hefty fish. That's a good one. All right, let's get a weight on her. All right, zeroed out. Nah, yeah, I think she'll go 6. Now that I'm looking at her, now that I've held her for a little bit. 7.2? Is this thing on? Oh, okay. 7. Oh. I'm gonna call it 7.2. I'm gonna weigh her again in a second. 7.2 is what I'm calling it. There she is again. All right, completely zeroed out. One more weight. 7 pounds, 1 ounce. We'll call it 7.1. 7.1. Third 7-pounder of the season for me. Nice fish. Look at that tail, y'all. Like, that tail is gone. Goodness. All right, let's get you back in here for a little bit. Something was just telling me to go up shallow, flip a jig. This bank looked super good. It was nice and rocky, and I was like, let's go up shallow, flip a jig. Let's try that. Like 20 minutes into it, caught a 7-pounder. All right, y'all. There she is in all her glory. 7.1, third 7-pounder of the season. Going back in. Such a pretty fish, y'all. There she goes. Right back down to the bed. Same jig setup, little 3/8 ounce jig, PB&J color with like a green pumpkin and black and blue kind of trailer. It has like green pumpkin on the bottom, black and blue on top. It's just working, y'all. That's been the deal all spring. It's still, we're still doing it. The water temp hasn't changed too much. That's another thing. Water temp 72. It hasn't gotten too much higher, and it hasn't gotten too much warmer because we keep getting little cold spells, little cold fronts rolling in. It hasn't been warming up too quick, so we're not like jumping straight into summer. It feels like summer now, but this morning it was like in the 40s. It was fog all over the water and stuff, so we're still in that good time of year where it's just like still springtime. We're still getting cool mornings, but it warms up nice during the daytime, and we're gonna keep fishing, see if we can't get a few more. So stay tuned, y'all, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. All right, y'all, so this is day 2. I had to end the last day a little bit earlier than I expected. And after that big fish, I really only caught a couple dinks. But I really want to make this video about finding big fish, you know, big females on beds, and find them where they're spawning at in dirtier water where you can't really see them on beds, or you can't really see them where they're spawning. So I decided to get back out here for a second day and see if I can't get a few more big ones. But you know, I've been on the same kind of bite for like the last 2 months now. So it's only really a matter of time before they stop doing this and moving off and doing some more summertime patterns. But for now, hopefully they're still doing it. I got a new rod I want to test out. If you guys remember from the last video, I broke the rod tip of one of my favorite rods. It was actually my jig setup rod, and I did just get a new one of those, so I'll show you guys that in a second when I get the GoPro on. But yeah, just pull up to the first spot just in the back of this little creek, and we're gonna see if we can't get a few. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I will give you guys some more tips on how to find these areas to really kind of break it down, and really more to eliminate water, because that's been a really big key of mine, is eliminating water so I can cover water. I'll talk about it more in the video. If I get started on it now, I'll just keep going on and on. But I'm gonna get to fishing now. Stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. There's a fish. Come here, buddy. Alright, y'all, well, there's my first fish of the day. Little guy, but first fish of the day. Finally getting the skunk off the boat. That feels good. He's nothing special, but Feels good to finally get a bite. I'm not being picky right now. Bites are definitely few and far between for me, at least. I'm trying to see if there's still any big ones back here. I'm sure there is. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. We're getting to that time of day where I've been getting a lot more bites about midday. It's typically when I've been getting these bigger bites up shallow on the jig, and so we're just getting to that time right about now, and so I'm just waiting for that fish to come. There it is. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Yeah, that's a real good one. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Oh, that's a real good one. That's what I'm talking about. What was I just saying? Just getting to that time of day. I figured it was gonna be a matter of time before I was gonna get bit again. That was probably a 5 or 6, maybe even bigger, honestly. That's a good fish, y'all. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Yeah, that's probably 5 or it's probably six or 7, honestly. No, I'm gonna say 6. That is what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna throw her in the well for a bit. All right, yeah, she's definitely not happy. Okay, let's get this zeroed out. All right, zeroed out. Yeah, she'll probably go 5 or 6. Six pounds, 6 ounces, I think I'm gonna call it. Yeah, 6 pounds, 6 ounces. 6 pounds, 6 ounces, 5 ounces. Regardless, a nice fish, nice 6-pounder. I'll get another weight on her just to be sure. Let her get some water real quick. All right, one more weight. Zero it out. Just go ahead. Yep. Yeah, I'm calling it 6'6". 6 pounds, 6 ounces. That is an awesome fish, y'all. You see that tail? It's not too bad. It's definitely not as bad as the one earlier in this video, or my one from the other day, but still a nice fish right there on that jig. 6 pounds, 6 ouncer. Nice one right there. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. All right, gotta get releasing this girl. I'm gonna try to get an underwater release on her. There she is, right there. A couple more shots of her. Beautiful fish. All right, let's try to get an underwater release. It's not gonna be super clear, but it's gonna be cool to see. And even though this video is literally probably gonna be titled "How to Catch Bass on Beds in Dirty Water," still gonna try to get an underwater release. I think it's clear enough to at least see her swim away. So she's going in. Girl. There she goes. That is a good feeling, y'all. Hopefully we can get some more like that throughout the rest of the day, but at least I got one today. That is a super good feeling. So funny too, like right after I was just saying, like, yeah, it could be any time now. I can get a big bite, and literally right then, see my line swimming off, set the hook, and 6.5 pounder. That's a really good feeling. So still got a lot of daylight left. We're gonna see if we can't get a few more. Y'all stay tuned, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Be sure to stick around to the end, because I'm gonna tell you guys how I find these fish, or how I've been finding these fish, and what I figured out over the last few weeks and months of doing this. So stay tuned, y'all. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. All right, y'all, well, I never ended up catching any more fish that day, but that's okay because we got a little bit to talk about, and it's probably gonna take a good portion out of this video. So I've made a little list of 3 different things that I want you guys to remember while you're out on the water fishing for these dirty water spawning fish. So the first thing on this list is figure out a general spawning location. Break down your lake, do your research. I'm not gonna tell you exactly where to fish on your lake or on a lake, but figure out, a general location where you think these fish are gonna be up shallow and spawning at. Obviously, they're gonna be shallow, they're gonna be spawning around the banks and stuff, so it should be pretty easy to find, but it can differ from each lake. So, do your research, figure out exactly where. Obviously, not all the lakes are gonna be exactly like the one I was fishing like today, but some might be similar. You might be able to go back and watch some of my videos and, break down some of the spots and stuff. But yeah, first thing on the list was find a general spawning location. The second thing I want you guys to do is cover water. Fish fast around these general spawning areas. Once you start getting bit and you start catching some fish, inspect your fish, really see if they have bloody tails. Is a great way to tell if they're on beds or spawning or not. Another thing that you can find is a fish with little eggs coming out of them. Like a month ago, I caught one that had eggs coming out of her, which was crazy to me. That was a sure sign that she was on a bed and that she was spawning. And so once you figure out where these bigger fish are at, and once you figure out where these bigger fish are spawning at, the next thing I want you guys to do is eliminate the rest of the water. Don't fish the water that you're not getting big bites at. Don't fish the water that you're not getting bit at all. For me, it's been a lot of the steeper banks in the backs of creeks and stuff, but it could be different for you. It could be different for a different lake and stuff. So, what I like to do is I like to stop at the areas with a nice cutout bank, a nice deep cutout bank from the old creek arm channel, fish the steep bank, and then instead of fishing that bank that kind of mellows out and just kind of becomes more of a straight slope, I'll head over to the next one, and then if it curves again, I'll head over to the next one. And so do the same thing if it's if they're spawning around different areas though. Say they're spawning around lily pads or they're spawning on points or something, just hit those points, just hit those lily pad patches or whatever. It could be anything. And so just remember that. Don't waste your time in the areas that are unproductive. Don't get caught up with thinking, oh, maybe there is one there, maybe there might be one there. That yes, there could be a big one, yes, there could be more in those other areas, but if you're onto a decent little pattern, forget about everything else and just hit those different areas. If you start running out of areas, if you're fishing a smaller lake or something, you can go back and fish them again, because a bed is only a certain size. It's only about this big, maybe. Like a bed is pretty small, and if you make one flip there, the fish could have just not seen it. It could have just not wanted to eat it then, and then you took away too quick. So don't be afraid to go back to those areas, fish it, and if you don't get bit, go to the next one, fish that. If you don't get bit, go to the next one, and then you can come back to those later and hopefully catch some more. So yeah, just remember those three things while you're out in the water. Find your general location, your general spawning location. Cover water until you start getting bit, and then once you start getting bit, really dial in where you're catching these bigger fish, where you're catching the ones that seem to be like they're spawning, and then eliminate the rest of the water so you can really focus in on those areas and just go back and forth to those areas. And so while we're on this subject, I might as well tell you guys the setup I've been using. I've already talked about it a ton, but good old flipping jig. This style of jig has been getting it done for me all spring long. My favorite colors have been like a PB&J color with this darker, big, chunky kind of craw on it. As you can see, it has a nice green pumpkin bottom, a little bit darker on top. I like this color a lot. Typically, I've been liking the more natural colors, even though that this is supposed to be a dirty water video. I don't know. They just like natural colors for me, but it could be a black and blue kind of deal for you. It could be anything, but good flipping jig. That's another way to get big bites, is a jig. I've caught plenty of small fish on it, but definitely caught a lot of big fish on it. And it's definitely a big fish lure. If you guys remember my last video, I broke my setup that I was fishing a jig with. Just replaced the rod. I got a Dobyns Fury 735, so it's the 7'3" heavy. They say it's a mag heavy, but I'll just say it's like a heavier, maybe an extra heavy. And then it's also a fast action rod. So really like this for jig setups. The reel I've been using is my Daiwa Tatula 200 in a 7-3-1. This was originally like my small swim bait reel, but I've been using it for flipping. It has that bigger spool, and so I felt like since it's a 7-3-1 with the bigger spool, it should pick up line a little bit faster. And it's just that Daiwa Tatula is kind of a workhorse. 20-pound fluoro on there as well, and I really like this jig setup. If you guys have been keeping up with the channel for a while, you might remember that I've been messing around with different setups and I've been trying to figure it out, and I kind of had it figured out with my last one before I broke my rod. But I am very happy with this Dobyns Fury in the 735. I like it a lot, and even though I've only used it for like I think 2 days now, it feels great, and I'm really excited to use it for more. So I hope you guys learned something from today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. Share this video with a friend if you think they might enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.